last 9. Houston 4-1 to the over in their last 5, taking on Minnesota if you're into historical trends. Give me Houston minus 6.5 and the over 225 and a hook in that matchup there. Next and final game for our NBA slate. It is going to be Brooklyn at the Clippers. 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Los Angeles. The Clippers open minus 5, total 232.5. And since those markets open this one up, we're seeing movement upward on the spread. Money on the Clippers. We're seeing movement downward on the total. Clippers are now minus 6, total 232. So once again, Los Angeles open minus 5, up to minus 6. Total open 232.5, down to 232 even. 61% of the consensus is leaning toward the Clippers, 59% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Brooklyn Nets are plus 205 on the money line. Allen Crabbe and Shabazz Napier are both questionable for the Nets. Brooklyn's also failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5 games. They're also 1-4 ATS in their last 5 on the road. Now, the Clippers are 6-1 straight up in their last 7. 7-2 against the number in their last 9. They rank 2nd in the NBA in three-point shooting. And they've won 6 out of their last 7 at the Staples Center. Now, total-wise, the Clippers are 5-3 to the under in their last 8. Brooklyn, 7-0 to the under in their last 7. Give me the Clippers minus 6 in the under 232 in that matchup there. All right, next slate, we're going to dive into some college basketball. We're going to begin with Auburn taking on Tennessee. 1 o'clock Eastern tip-off in that matchup there. Tennessee opened the betting as the 4-point favorite. Total opened at 149.5. And since the markets opened this one up, we're seeing a ton of movement on this game. We're seeing money on Tennessee. That spread moved upward. But we saw a 4-point move when it comes to the total. A 4-point move downward on the total. That moved down to 145.5. So once again, Tennessee open 4, up to minus 5. Total open 149.5, down to 145 and a hook. 64% of the consensus is leaning toward Tennessee. 52% of the consensus is shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Tigers of Auburn are plus 195 on the money line. Now, Tennessee ranks 6th in college basketball in offensive field goal percentage. They're shooting 50% from the field. They've also successfully covered the number in 4 out of their last 5. They're covering 67% of their games that tipped off at the current point spread. Now, Auburn covers just 33% of their games as the official road underdog. They also rank 201st in the country in road defensive rebounding. That's terrible. Total-wise, Auburn's 2-0 to the under in their last 2. And as far as Tennessee's concerned, 4 out of their last 8 stayed under the number as well. Give me Tennessee minus 5 in the under 145.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Cincinnati taking on Houston, 3:15 Eastern tip-off. Houston's minus 4 total. Houston open minus 4, total open 129. We're seeing a bunch of movement on this game as well. Movement downward on the total and upward on the spread. Houston's now minus 5, total 127. So once again, the Cougars open minus 4, up to minus 5, total open 129, down to 127. 66% are leaning Houston, 57% shaded toward the over. Right now, Cincinnati's plus 180 on the money line. Houston 6-2 against the number in their last 8. They're 10-3 ATS away from home, and they are perfect 5-0 against the spread in their games that tipped off at the current number. Now, Cincinnati's covered just 6 out of 15 games away from home this year. They're also 0-3 against the number as the official road underdog. When it comes to the scoring, Houston is 67% to the over in their games at the current posted total. Give me the Cougs minus 5. In the over 127 in that matchup there. Next and final game for our college slate. It is going to be Michigan at Michigan State. Michigan taking on Michigan State. They're not at Michigan State. They're at a neutral site. So once again, the Wolverines taking on Sparty, 3:30 Eastern tip-off. We saw a flip of the lines in this one. Michigan opened plus 1, total 134.5. And since that one opened up, we're seeing steady money on the Wolverines. They're now minus 1. Total moved all the way down to 131, 3.5-point move there. So once again, Michigan open plus 1, up to minus 1. Total open 134.5, down to 131 even. 51% of the consensus is leaning towards Sparty, 57% shaded toward the over. Right now, Michigan State's minus 105 on the money line. Sparty's 2-0 against the spread, taking on Michigan this season. They're also 15-1 against the spread, taking on teams over 650. Michigan, they rank 180th in scoring and 153rd in offensive rebounding. Now, total-wise, both teams are 4-2 to the over in their last 6. Give me the underdog, Michigan State Spartans, +1 in the over 131 in that matchup there. Next and final sport, it is going to be in the NHL. We're going to take a look at the Islanders taking on the Wild. 6 o'clock puck drop in Minnesota. The Wild opened the betting as the $1.25 favorite. Total opened at 5.5. And since those markets opened this one up, not a whole lot of movement when it comes to the total. Although we did see a nickel fade of Minnesota in the early going here. No surprises there. They're down to 120. So once again, Minnesota opened $1.25 down to minus 120. Total's 5.5. 68% of the consensus is leaning toward New York. 83% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Islanders are plus 105 on the money line. Minnesota plus 225 on the puck line. We have Grice projected in net for the Islanders. Stalock projected in net for Minnesota. The Islanders are winning 82% of their games in the second of a back-to-back. They're also 30-17 straight up, taking on teams allowing more than 2.9 goals per contest. Minnesota's won just 5 out of 15 games when Stalock makes the start. When it comes to the total, Minnesota's 75% to the under at home when the line's 5.5. Give me the road dog in this matchup here. I'm going to take the Islanders plus 105 in the under 5.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Flyers, Penguins, 7:30 puck drop in the Steel City. Pittsburgh opened 185, total 6.5. Since that one opened up, we saw a significant 20-cent fade of Pittsburgh when it comes to the money line. They're down to 165. So once again, Pittsburgh opened 185 down to minus 165, total 6.5. 74% are leaning Penguins, 65% shaded toward the over. The Flyers are plus 140 on the money line. Pittsburgh plus 150, laying the goal and a half. Carter Hart projected in net for the Flyers. Casey D. Smith projected in net for Pittsburgh. The Pens are winning 60% of their games in the second of a back-to-back. They also rank 6th in offensive scoring. We're looking at 3.44 goals per contest in that category there. Meanwhile, Philadelphia ranks 27th in goals allowed, and they're winning just 40% of their games as the official Vegas underdog. Now, total-wise, Philadelphia is 4-1 to the over in their last 5, 80% to the over in their last 5 when traveling. Give me the very chalky Pittsburgh Penguins minus 165 in the over 6.5 goals in that matchup there. All right, next and final game for the show. It is going to be Edmonton taking on the Golden Knights. 10 o'clock Eastern puck drop in Sin City. Vegas opened 275, total 5.5. And since this one opened up, we're seeing steady movement on both the money line and the total. And we actually saw a 40-cent fade of the Golden Knights when it comes to the money line. We're seeing movement upward with regard to the total as well. Vegas is now 235, total at 6. So once again, the Golden Knights open 275 down to 235, total open 5.5 up to 6. Edmonton's plus 205 on the money line. Vegas plus 115 on the puck line. We got Stolarz projected in net for Edmonton, freshly acquired from the Flyers, I believe. And then Fleury projected in net for Vegas. Give me the Vegas Golden Knights minus 1.5 and the over 6 goals in that matchup there. No breakdown needed. We're just going to go ahead and take the Golden Knights, lay in the goal and a half, and we're going to see a lot of scoring in that one. Hopefully I'm right. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. Once again, I really appreciate you joining me for this upload. I also want to remind you once again to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. That's my website. We have plenty of free content on that website. We also do plenty of personal plays on that site as well. Many different tiers. Tiers begin at just $1.99 per month. And like I said, plenty of free content there as well. So please feel free to just hit that pause button right now or finish the video. Open up your browser, type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a couple of seconds. The link is in the description section below. All you got to do is just click the link. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. But most importantly, thank you for watching today's program. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free information. And don't forget to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage.